Friends, and welcome back to my channel today. And I thank you for being here and continue to support my channel. I just wanted to do a shout out for you guys for just supporting me. But today we are in the final series of our job costing and CRM with roofing contractors or any type of contractor. All the principles apply. And today is you do not just need to sync everything between the CRM and QuickBooks, especially when you are just starting out. So have a very simple program that you run week after week that you're doing the same thing. And you could even hire somebody to do it because it's a system. The same thing is done each week. I'm going to be walking through that with you today, and job costing is super important in the construction business especially, but I always believe that job costing, even in bookkeeping in our own companies, is super important too, where we can track our time and find out if our pricing is right, if we're making money, if we what we need to increase in pricing, or if we needed to hire somebody, what we could have that person do for us to help us grow our business. What actually needs to sync between the CRM and QuickBooks, because this is where many systems become over complicated. I do the same thing every week. But to start out with, you only want to sync the invoices from the CRM into QuickBooks. Then when we first start this, as I spoke last week, we're going to be testing all of this out, make sure all of the data ends up where we want it to be. But do not try to sync everything at once, like expenses or even the roofing company receiving payments in the CRM and AccuLinks. I like to receive the payments myself in QuickBooks, but it all depends on what roles different people have in the company of what your workflow is going to be. I think it's best to sync the invoices to QuickBooks. We'll go into the CRM, make sure there's an invoice. Once we have received a payment and we see it in the bank feed, then we're going to go into the CRM, look under reports, look under payments, and then you're going to see all the payments, and then you can just click on that job, and then you can click the payments, and then you can see if it was a credit card payment, check, cash, whatever it is. And then I click on that job just to make sure that I have an invoice first. If I don't have an invoice in the dashboard there for that job, then I will sync and record that to QuickBooks. So I have an invoice in QuickBooks now for that. And sometimes you do have to refresh both the CRM page and QuickBooks page. So when I go to customers in QuickBooks, I just type in that job number, and then it should automatically pop up with an amount in it. If the job pops up and it just has a 0, it means that it didn't get recorded, synced over to QuickBooks yet. And sometimes it's not that you didn't sync it, but it's just not showing up yet. It's still going across the waves there. But I'll go back into AccuLinks and I'll just click record again, just to push it on that I want you to do this right now. So that's how I handle that. That's how you're going to start everything going, okay? And then this works because it keeps your data clean, it reduces errors, it's easier to manage, and it's easy to understand the reporting. And what matters most is correct income categories, so it does show properly on your income statement, and correct products and services inside of QuickBooks as well. In the CRM, they're going to set up products and services, and those I want to sync over to QuickBooks. I would rather them put in their products and services first and let everything sync over to QuickBooks versus me entering products and services in QuickBooks, and that is like one big mistake that does get made, that we enter products and services in QuickBooks. If we do that, and then it's the same name as what the CRM has, we're going to get an error for a duplicate name. So the first time that we sync the CRM to QuickBooks, I let the CRM pass all of that information over, so I don't have to enter anything into QuickBooks. The only thing that I may need to enter into QuickBooks is when I go to products and services. If it's just dumping into one chart of accounts, say AccuLink's income, then I need to map that out to like residential roofing, metal roofing, repair roofing, or whatever that is. So every time that product name, and that's how it's identified through that product name, then when QuickBooks sees that product name, ABC, then it's going to put it to residential roofing. That's how that part of it works. The proper mapping from the CRM to QuickBooks, that's what we're always testing and make sure it's working the way it is supposed to. Okay. But simple systems create better financial clarity than complicated ones. So we always want to keep this as simple as we can in doing this. But this is where I use a weekly job tracking system. I have a spreadsheet, a job summary worksheet. With some contractors, I'm keeping both estimate numbers and invoice numbers and customer name, contracts, job numbers, and that type of thing. So every week when I get payments in, I know very quickly on my spreadsheet which customer that connects to, versus trying to go in QuickBooks and trying to research and figure out what customer this is for. Which when I go into the CRM for that payment, I can see what customer. A lot of times in QuickBooks, in our bank feed, it's a combination of 3 or 4 different customers that equal that total payment. We've got to break that all down, go and record that to undeposited funds so we can match that bank feed amount. But to start with, you have to know which customers that you received the payments from. So what I will do, I'll go through the bank feed first in QuickBooks when I start on a roofing contractor. I'll go through that. Then when I get to the deposit, sometimes QuickBooks will match up invoice to the amount that was deposited in the bank, which is like a clean deposit there. But more times than not, I've got a list of 10 or 15 deposits that are all different amounts that books couldn't match that up with any particular invoice. One, because some of those invoices haven't even been synced from the CRM into QuickBooks, okay? So then what I'll do, I'll just write on a paper so I can look at it and mark it off. That's just the way that I do things. I'll write the dates and the deposits amount and like a check beside it or a credit card beside it, so I know what source that came from, or cash beside it. So then I'll go into the CRM, go to those payments, and then I will go through each one of those payments, make sure I had an invoice in QuickBooks, then I received that payment in QuickBooks into undeposited funds. And then I will go to create and then make a deposit, start matching these payments that I received up with the list of deposits that I wrote down that have came through the bank. Hope that wasn't too complicated, but that's the whole process of this. My students that are in system, this is what we work on together, just them and me together, is their process and the way that things need to be done, so we can implement the right process, the best practices, and get your bookkeeping done very efficiently so that you are doing a great value and service for the roofing contractor, but you're also making good money doing this as well. That is the process for that. I am going to share the screen with you, and I wanted to show you in QuickBooks. See if I find, just use this one. I brought up just a little company here, and the only thing that I've done is I went to the settings and then products and services. You click on that and go to products and services, then you will end up where I am here. So like this company, they have a few little things in it. It's pretty simple, so nothing complicated there. Then what we want to do, we got some over from the CRM from AccuLinks. Say it's residential roofing. We're going to click the edit. And then we're going to have a name for the product. That's going to be whatever the CRM gave it. So we're not going to touch that. We can change the category if we want to. If we want it under residential service, for an example, any class that we had in, we can change that. And these are all the things that are going to show up in QuickBooks for you, like on a profit and loss or any type of report. This part, you don't have to pay any attention because AccuLinks is going to put over the description automatically. It's going to override that. Here we have the install the deck on the back of home. So our income account, we'll never have a rate here, but the income account, then we can change that to whatever income account that we want to. So this is the mapping that we have to do. I'll go over that again, that if we go to one of our products that the CMR synced over, we click edit, and we won't need to change any of this information. You can change the category, you can change the class, and then scroll down, then you're going to see the sales part. You're not going to change any of that. You're not going to put a price in, and then you're just going to click the correct income account that you want this going to. Every time that this product name install deck is used, it will automatically go to this 4010 exterior installs. That's how that mapping works. So that's the important part. So like when you click on a report, then it will show you that. But I'm not going to open that up due to privacy reasons there. But it will show you like your revenue and installed decking and different things. Scoot this over. But I just wanted to show you basically how the mapping there worked in QuickBooks and will work for you. But that's how you get everything going. I do invite you to join my Bookkeepers Connection over on school. That's where I am 3 or 4 days out of the week. I'm answering questions that you might have. I do some posting, put some videos on there. Also, monthly, I generally do a live training that you can attend for free, and then you can ask any question you have afterwards as well. And then if you are ready to get started, and you need help in doing something, then please do book a call with me, and we'll see exactly where you are, what your current situation is, so what the next step up for you is. I really believe in steps. Like sometimes you start like with your free content, and then you'll pay for some more training. And then as you're growing in your business and you have more money coming in your business, then you just keep stepping up and going up to Mount Everest. We're just doing one step at a time, but there is a lot of great free information. Everything I put out, I do my best to give you all the value possible and all the details, that you need to do it and help you be a really good bookkeeper and run, which is especially important, not just to do the bookkeeping accurately and well, but be able to run a successful bookkeeping business. That's super important. You want to have your prices right. You want to have a sustainable business. And so there's some general things that I teach that's going to help you have that sustainable business where you can have a thriving bookkeeping business with less than 10 clients that you do per month. And most of our clients we keep for a long time. So, 10 or 15 clients during the whole year that you are looking to get and keep in your business that makes it really attainable for you and easy for you to do. So I would love to help you with any of that I can. But once again, just thank you for joining my YouTube channel, listening and just learning things that I've learned from running a roofing business for over 25 years. And so I hope my experience impacts your business. All right, thank you. And we will see you on our next series. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.